Coming up on this episode of the Wax News Breakfast Blend, we're going to be giving you the inside scoop on upcoming events in and around the community.
That's right. Our news team has been working around the clock to bring you the news that you need to know.
We have all of that and more coming up, so make sure you stick with us.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us today.
We have a lot of stories to cover, so let's get to it.
A big debate that has been going on in not just the community, but in the world, has been the allowance of phones in various settings, such as the workplace and school.
Here at Alden High School and Middle School, there is a policy put in place where no phones are permitted in the bathrooms and locker rooms. Spencer Kepner sat down with Mr. McCowan and Mr. Smith on the importance of this rule and the enforcement being used. Spencer?
A no phone in locker rooms and bathroom policy has been implemented in Alden High School. Signs have been placed in locker rooms and bathrooms throughout the school.
Since we instituted the new guidelines for electronic device use, so if you look in the student handbook, and this goes back to when we first allowed students to have cell phones in school. I'm trying to remember exactly what year it was, but it's been a few years now. And so when we instituted those new guidelines, prior to students being able to carry cell phones, that was always in there, okay? So to your question, it is just being reinforced with regard to locker rooms, bathrooms, etc. Privacy obviously is something that we need to protect, and we need to do that collectively. And what we did was, just make some signs up to reinforce this to students, using bathrooms and locker rooms with regard to, not taking pictures, not having your phone out, etc. Well, I just think with, the growing use of social media, I think privacy is an important, aspect of our lives, right? No one wants to have their privacy invaded. I think we see that in all walks of life. Celebrities have their Instagram accounts hacked, or their other social media accounts hacked, and it's an invasion of privacy. So I just think that as the use of technology increases and these things unfortunately happen, we need to make sure that we are doing everything we can to protect the privacy of everyone. I think that the main premise behind allowing students to carry their cell phones in school, going back a few years, was simply this. As young adults, students need to learn how to use that technology appropriately, because it's not going away, right? It's going to be part of our lives forever going forward, technology in one form or another. So the idea was to have students learn to make appropriate choices about when it was appropriate to use it, when it was not appropriate to use it, and how to use it. If you're a Star Wars fan, I like to use the analogy that technology can be used for good or for evil. It's kind of like the Force, right, in Star Wars. And we want to, I think one of our goals as educators is to teach students how to use technology for good, and not use it, to do bad things. So that's the goal, I think. I think it's I think it's just a part of the educational process. I think it's part of maturation and growing up, right? Through the use of technology. So, for example, when our students enter the school next year, and every single student has a Surface Pro. Right now, we've got everyone having a personal computing device, a very powerful personal computing device, in addition to their phones. And so it's incumbent upon us as educators to teach students how to use that technology to do great things, to be creative, to find information that they need in order to learn, to explore passions that they have for themselves on their own. And those are all the things that are critical for us. We've got a lot of students in and out of locker rooms daily, right, for physical education classes and then for athletics. And again, we need to reinforce that every way possible, and hopefully avoid, those issues. It's kind of like, years ago when, and this was even going back to, before I started here, when we had issues like smoking in bathrooms and locker rooms. And that's all pretty much been eliminated in this building. We have other issues now that, again, we have to be constantly aware of and educate ourselves about, and hopefully, eliminate them. Well, we have the guidelines in place in the student handbook. We have placed signs outside of every locker room and bathroom in the building, just as a reminder. And, again, it's about dialogue. Mr. McCowan, at the beginning of every year, meets with each class and goes over those guidelines. So again, hopefully it just becomes part of our culture in understanding that, it's not allowed, it's not acceptable. And it's a respect factor. I think we all, have a responsibility to respect one another's privacy. Even though, again, I know with social media and the way we are today with selfies and cell phone cameras, it's kind of, ubiquitous. It's everywhere. It's part of our world. But, we need to also understand that, taking pictures of someone, posting them on the internet or on your Snapchat or whatever is, we need to be careful not to violate someone's privacy.
The policy should be effective in protecting students' privacy in the future.
We have some amazing athletes in Alden as all of the Bulldog teams move forward in their seasons. One that stands out is a football player in the middle school who was invited to a once-in-a-lifetime flag football tournament at the Pro Bowl in Florida with the Alden varsity head coach, Mr. Curran. Con Skronsky, one of our reporters, headed over to the middle school to hear more on this amazing achievement and what Will Krause had to say.
With the fall play all wrapped up, that leaves us with the spring musical Seussical. Seussical is a bright, fun, and very energetic musical based off Dr. Seuss books. Be prepared to be taken to far-off places such as Salisalu, the Jungle of Newell, and the Planet of Who. The musical also features iconic characters such as the Cat in the Hat, Horton the Elephant, and the Grinch.
The show is very family-friendly and perfect for kids of all ages. You'll be sure to be dancing along in your seats to the catchy songs. Our reporter Brittany Chase has more of Alden's upcoming energetic show. Brittany?
For the first time ever here at Alden High School, we are doing the production of Seussical. Seussical is a production of many different characters from Dr. Seuss books. Some of the characters include Cat in the Hat, Horton, Gertrude, Jojo, and many more, from Whoville and the Jungle of Newell. I had the chance to interview one of our directors, Julie Wallace, and a couple of the cast members to tell us what their role is in the show and what their favorite thing is about being in the production. So I'm here with Julie Wallace, one of our directors for Seussical. What can you tell us about the production?
Seussical is moving along. Everyone's working really hard on it. The set looks really good. We're moving at a good pace, so we should have a nice, strong show for February. Seussical is a fun show, and not many schools do Seussical, so we thought it would be nice to do something out of the box and something that will hopefully make everyone happy and give some laughs. The show's full of tons of singing and dancing, a lot more dancing than normal musicals have, I think. So I think it'll be almost an entire hour and a half of singing and mostly dancing the whole time. They can get the tickets online, I think through the Alden website, and they're $12 a piece.
So what are you in this year's musical production of Seussical?
I am a Wickersham brother, part of the Wickersham fam, with Hannah Whiteford and Kirsten Lerner, and I'm also a cadet, like a tap dancer in the show.
This year I get to be a Who. And what is your favorite thing so far about being in this production?
My favorite part of being in this production is getting to sing and dance with all of my amazing friends, because it's my senior year and it's the last one I can ever do.
So what is your role in this year's production of Seussical?
Well, I'm part of ensemble for the musical, but I'm also Stay True.
Okay, so what is your favorite thing about being in the production as an ensemble member?
I guess I really just like dancing with my friends and kind of just to like watch the show grow as it, as the leads get better at their parts and just as the show comes together as a whole.
Okay, and you said you were a stage crew member, so what's it like handling 2 jobs?
It's very interesting. During the show, of course, I'm just an ensemble member, but being on stage crew and like I said with ensemble as well, it's like watching the show grow and watching the set like start from nothing and become like this amazing looking set. It's really cool.
So what is your role in this year's production of Seussical?
I am the sour kangaroo.
And what is your favorite part about being in this production?
I love how everybody who has a simple love of music and dancing come together and create an amazing show.
Be sure to come out and see Seussical February 8th, 9th, and 10th, all at 7 p.m. and the matinee show on February 10th at 2 p.m. I'm Brittany Chase for Wax News. Be sure to follow us at waxnews.aldenschools.org or Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook, all under Wax News.
A group of Alden High School students that are involved in the club's Scholastic Bowl just recently attended Genesee Community College for their first match of the year. The Alden team is made up of incredibly smart individuals that answer challenging questions for points. Here's Jillian Dake with more on that.
15 members of Alden High School's theater club took a trip 5 hours away on January 5th through the 7th to Callicoon, New York to attend the annual NIST conference. Students had the opportunity to take the various theatrical workshops and work with the students across the state to further their knowledge and skills for both on and off the stage. Here's Zach Bennett, who attended the conference, with more on the event.
Over the weekend, 15 student delegates from Alden High School's theater club joined many other schools across New York State for a statewide student conference. The 21st annual New York State Theater Education Association Conference was held at the Villa Roma Resort in Callicoon, NY. There, they were able to participate in many of over 100 workshops offered, including singing, dancing, acting, and technical workshops. I interviewed Miss Farrow, who attended the conference, and some of the delegates that attended.
NIST is a weekend-long theater conference where they bring in several different clinicians to teach the students several different acting and singing and dancing techniques and skills that they can use to hopefully benefit and grow as an actor and actress. NIST is located in Callicoon, New York, which is in the Catskills. I think it's a great opportunity for them. They get a lot of workshops where they either do singing workshops or character building workshops or dance workshops, so they can learn all of those things, and when they come back, they can put it into their theater program.
I went around to various activities that they had, and I met lots of new people and made friends and had fun with my friends.
I took 5 classes. Some include ballet, aerial arts, becoming the character.
I took basic tap dance, songwriting, and basic swing dance. I would totally go back to NIST if I got the chance to.
Definitely.
Without a doubt, yes.
Mr. Mashi added that the conference was designed to be a 3-year opportunity for students to attend sophomore, junior, and senior year. He said that he hopes to continue attending this incredible conference each year. For Wax News, I'm Zach Bennett.
Last year, a group of 13 AP Art students of Mrs. Kaczynski's class were faced with a totally new legacy project, creating a children's book. Each student was assigned 2 pages each and had total creative freedom. Thus, the ABCs of Alden was born.
Right. As Brooks said, each student had 2 letters assigned to them. The class used Alden as their inspiration for their pages. Whether they decided upon a memorable landmark, a memory they shared, or something they love, the book is based entirely off our small town.
On Tuesday, January 9th, Mrs. Kaczynski held a book reveal reception. 8 of her former artists and now authors and illustrators were there for the event, along with other faculty and staff. Mr. Lyons, the primary school principal, was in attendance to receive his 2 copies for the primary school library, and 2 copies of the book will also be donated to St. John's Library.
It's really awesome that these kids got to see their small town in a book. I'm sure it'll be even cooler to them when they find out that students from their future high school helped to make it.
And with that, we're going to take a quick break. But coming up on the Breakfast Line, Kayla Durenda is back in the studio, ready to give us another update on the sports world.
We're also going to be giving you the 411 on upcoming events in the community.
We'll have all of that and more, so make sure you stick with us. Good morning and welcome back to the Breakfast Line on Wax News.
Now we're going to take a look. Wait, what's that noise?
What?
It sounds like a quack.
Oh, it's just that time.
Sports time. This week's Player Spotlight is Emily Szymanski from the varsity rifle team. I interviewed head coach Mr. Egging on why she deserved to be featured this week. Emily also was recently Alden High School's Athlete of the Week. This week on Player Spotlight, we have Emily Szymanski from the varsity rifle team. I spoke with head coach Mr. Eggink on why she deserved to be featured this week. Here's what he had to say.
Emily is a great impact on the team. She's one of our co-captains. She's always influencing the younger athletes to do better, to continually strive to be their absolute best for each match, try to have a positive attitude, etc. Emily's constant strive to do her absolute best, always try to improve no matter what she did. Emily has been with the team for about 5 years now and has over those 5 years improved so much that she is now one of our top players, which deserves the whole captain position that she's earned. Her attitude, her willingness to do whatever it takes to help the team more so than just herself, I think that's what makes her prime candidate for this.
Great job, Emily, and keep up the good work. That's all for Player Spotlight this week. Tune in next week for more. Speaking of the rifle team, they're doing very well this season, as well as the boys swimming team continuing their season record of 3-0. The girls varsity basketball team has a league record of 2-3. Great job to all athletes and keep up the good work. That's all for sports. Tune in next week for more. I'm Kayla Durana reporting for Wax News.
Thanks, Kayla. As you can see, there has been a lot of exciting things coming up in the theatrical world here at Alden. You may remember the Be Our Guest brunch that was held here at the high school around this time last year to promote the musical Beauty and the Beast. Well, a similar event will take place here once again called the Green Eggs and Ham Brunch to get people excited about the high school's upcoming musical. Here's Brooke with more on that.
On Sunday, January 27th, Alden High School will be hosting the Green Eggs and Ham Brunch to promote the upcoming production of Seussical the Musical. I sat down with the director of the show to find out just what this event is all about.
The Green Eggs and Ham Brunch is based on the success of the Be Our Guest brunch last year. The brunch features several of the main characters, the most recognizable characters from the musical Seussical. And they are available for meet and greets. They have activities with the kids, and the cast and crew that are not featured in costume are still there. They're working the event. They are the ones that are serving tables, preparing the food, and assisting with the activities that are taking place.
As Mr. Mashi mentioned, this event is based off the success of last year's Be Our Guest brunch, which was used to promote last year's production of Beauty and the Beast. Here's how they compare.
The event will be very similar to the Be Our Guest brunch, obviously with different characters. The activities have changed.
Some of the activities included are Games with Horton, Dance Party with Maisie LeBird, Arts and Crafts with Sour Kangaroo, and Storytime with Gertrude McFuzz.
We have activities, arts and crafts projects that are based on the show that are really cool that we're excited about. Kids can make their own Cat in the Hat hats. Also, the characters themselves, there's a lot more character development going into the show, so you'll see a surprising resemblance from the Cat in the Hat and the Grinch to the characters that you know from the real action movies as well. So a lot of cool photo opportunities will be around this year too.
I also talked with a few of the cast members to see just why people should come to the Green Eggs and Ham brunch.
I think people should come to the brunch because it's a great way to support your school and to support our production.
It'll give you a chance to meet the characters before the show, get you super excited for the show. There's a lot of fun costumes and the set is really awesome, so maybe you'll get a sneak peek of that.
It's a lot of fun. We got a lot of positive feedback from last year, so people would probably recommend it to you. I definitely would. And it's supporting the Alden High School theater program, so it's going to a good cause.
Once again, the brunch will be on January 28th from 10 to 2 at the high school. You can buy your tickets pre-sale at aldenschools.org/box office or at the door. From Wax News, I'm Brooke Meyer. Once again, the brunch will take place on Sunday, January 27th, so make sure you buy your tickets online at aldenschools.org/box office. Shifting gears back towards sports, Alden High School will be holding a whiteout and canned food drive called the Bulldog Blizzard for the boys and girls varsity basketball teams on Thursday and Friday, January 11th and 12th in the gym. So make sure you wear white and bring your cans. Here's Alex with all the details.
Well, it looks like it's time to wrap up this episode of the Wax News Breakfast Blend.
To keep up with the latest news, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat by searching WACS News and visit our website at wacs.aldenschools.org.
From Wax News, I'm Alex Lee.
And I'm Brooke Meyer, and that's what's happening in your world today.